citizens from Ferguson, Missouri, and from around the world. We are anonymous. Ever since the execution of Mike Brown, which sparked the residents of Ferguson to take a stand against the ignominious and racist police aggression that has recently taken place within their community, which has led many citizens little choice but to take to the streets, and take the action online, made the world watch, as many citizens, journalists, and children, stood their ground and shook the force of injustice that blocked and suppressed their freedom and basic rights. Such events that have taken place these past days have awakened the masses of the so-called rising police state, which the citizens of the United States are living upon. By many news outlets, Anonymous did not stand idly by, and we did not let this go unpunished or unnoticed. We as a collective have taken down key sites belonging to the Ferguson police and their militarized support. Even now that the situation has settled, tense anger is still being embroiled within the community of Ferguson, and here at Anonymous we will bring about everything we have in our disposal and give the residents of Ferguson every necessity, comfort, and care they need. Our solidarity and respect go to the countless independent citizens that took to the streets and organized peaceful walls of unity against the violent, inordinate police forces that took time and liberty out of their lives and placed it into helping the citizens in Ferguson. We also send our greetings to many journalists and concerned citizens that work in Ferguson and brought their dark experience to the web and to the world. In the end, this war was not just about Mike Brown and the unjust death which sparked days of rage within the community. It questioned the reality of the so-called land of the free. Countless reporters were prosecuted for doing their job, by showing the world that bringing riot gear, tear gas, militarized vehicles and many unsafe, hazardous, and deleterious equipment, and also concealing and fabricating evidence without even speaking to the victims or witnesses, is not the proper response to a community who have suffered a terrible loss. The response was police shattering and fracturing people's and reporters' equipment and health, mocking and bullying them, throwing tear gas at their specified locations, and harshly yelling at reporters to leave Ferguson. Many protesters and rioters suffered from potential injuries. This scene does not just tarnish the freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, and the freedom of press. It destroys the very ideology the United States claims it stands for. Many citizens also detected that the President of the United States gave deep condolences to the family, yet he never once mentioned that the person that killed Mike Brown was a police officer. Racial profiling within the United States is occurring constantly, and is growing rampant by the hours. We as citizens need to place a stop to it, for this globe only inhabits one race, humanity. Anonymous also condemns the looting that took place these past days, along with violence and misdemeanors. It doesn't just undermine the entire cause, it defiles the oppressed people's chance to face the oppressor. We hope the new head of the Ferguson Police Department, Captain Ron Johnson, does a more preferable and fitting job than the man who let out the hounds, to hopefully make Ferguson a more enlightened place to live. We are also observing the heinous actions the Department of Defense, the Department of Homeland Security, and their petty waste of money very closely, for they are the main ones that are currently creating the military state that is being fueled by many military manufacturers, pro-war representatives, and corporations. We also advise the citizens of Ferguson, and from around the world, to follow the Twitter account at @Ferguson, to get continuous updates regarding Ferguson, and the future situations it will garner, good or bad. We bring about actions whilst those in power spew words. We will continue to oversee the United States and the countless cities that are currently being sieged by the military-industrial complex that is being built away from the average citizen's eyes. Anonymous will never be silent. We will not cease, nor perish. We are watching, and as always, we will continue to oversee the situation in Ferguson. as well as countless areas that are experiencing such horror and silence and darkness. We will also expose any lies or fabrication any police department unfold, for the truth shall set you free. We are anonymous. We are legion. We will never forgive. We will never forget. We are the voice of the voiceless. Expect us.